The underground gambling den on Centauri Hub thrummed with the exotic melodies of a dozen alien civilizations risking their wealth on games of chance. Vapor from peculiar stimulants and artificial aromatics drifted through the atmosphere, generating a murky ambience that reflected the dubious legitimacy of the venue. Marcus Kane occupied a circular gaming surface, his powerful build causing the elaborate seat beneath him to groan with every shift. His cropped auburn hair gleamed under the subdued establishment lighting, while his unwavering stare remained locked on the hand he held. The dark composite armor he sported, decorated with reinforced segments that bore witness to countless conflicts, identified him as someone who embraced peril as a lifestyle. Opposite him sat Valdric, Ken, an azure-skinned extraterrestrial trader whose extended cranium and refined posture distinguished him from the cruder patrons. His opulent garment, woven with silver threads depicting historical commercial pathways, rippled around him like liquid prosperity. "Your turn, Terran," Valdric announced, cheerfully, his broad ocular organs blinking in alternating patterns rather than simultaneously. "Though I must caution you, I've been mastering quantum resonance since before your kind achieved space travel." Marcus preserved his neutral expression, though internally he found the alien's arrogance amusing. The card game resembled Earth poker, sufficiently that he'd grasped it rapidly, yet differed enough that most extraterrestrials undervalued human adaptability when encountering it initially. "I'll match your wager," Marcus declared, advancing a pile of credit tokens and increase it by 1,500. Valdric's Fortijet appendage tapped enthusiastically against the surface. Ah, the Terran possesses courage. Or perhaps merely flawed reasoning. He chuckled heartily, attracting attention from adjacent tables. "But I appreciate your boldness." The remaining participants a scaled reptilian, a crystalline being that scattered the establishment's illumination, and a muscular six-limbed creature had withdrawn earlier, recognizing the escalating stakes between the human and the azure merchant. "Actually," Valdric continued, his voice elevating with excitement, "I'm experiencing particularly fortunate circumstances tonight." Marcus lifted an eyebrow. "Is that so?" Valdric gestured dramatically toward his right, where a young female of his species stood silently. "My offspring, Lyra, the jewel of my household. I propose wagering her assistance for one standard rotation." Marcus's eyes expanded as he observed her appearance. Lustrous cerulean skin, a tone paler than Valdric's. Flowing sapphire hair, decorated with an elegant platinum ornament positioned on her brow. And large, expressive eyes that currently displayed mortification and anxiety. Her silhouette was enhanced by a form-fitting metallic and onyx garment with elaborate patterns and a neckline that dropped boldly low. Decorative restraints encircled her delicate wrists, connected by a slender ornamental chain indicating her status. "Your offspring?" Marcus questioned, genuinely startled. "Indeed," Valdric beamed proudly. "Educated at the premier academies in the Azure Expanse. Fluent in 20 languages, capable of operating any classification of spacecraft, tremendously valuable resource." Marcus glanced at Lyra, whose expression revealed a combination of shame and acceptance. She momentarily met his gaze before averting her eyes, her cheeks deepening to a darker blue. "I don't believe that's suitable," Marcus said cautiously. "Nonsense," Valdric dismissed with a wave. "Service agreements are completely standard in this sector. She's been contracted previously, typically to commercial houses or diplomatic missions." He leaned forward conspiratorially. "Besides, I possess an undefeatable hand. It's merely a theatrical gesture to make our game more thrilling." Marcus hesitated, looking again at Lyra. Something in her expression, a glimpse of hope, perhaps influenced his decision. "Very well," Marcus said. "I accept your proposition." Valdric's face illuminated with delight as he revealed his cards. A stellar configuration, one of the game's most powerful combinations. Behold, fortune favors the audacious. As you Terrans say, Marcus placed down his cards. A quantum resonance. The only hand that surpasses a stellar configuration. The establishment fell silent. Valdrick's expression froze, his mouth agape in shock. He grasped his elongated head with both hands. By the binary star systems, ... impossible. Just fortunate, I suppose? Marcus said with a shrug. Valdrick stared at the cards, then at his daughter, then back at the cards. But that's a 1 in 12,000 probability. No one achieves a resonance on their inaugural evening playing. First time for everything, Marcus replied. It's uncomfortable with the circumstances, but unwilling to retreat. Valdrick's eyes darted between his daughter and Marcus. Panic evident in his gaze. Perhaps we can negotiate an alternative compensation. Double the credits. Triple. Regulations are regulations. Azure One interrupted a deep voice. 2 armored security personnel had approached the table, their expressions neutral but firm. The Terran has won legitimately. The agreement must be fulfilled. Marcus stood, towering over most of the establishment's patrons. Listen, I'll accept the credits, but regulations are regulations, Terran, the guard repeated firmly. On Centauri Hub, a wager made constitutes a binding agreement. Refusing to accept your winnings completely violates market protocol. Valdrick appeared devastated, his earlier confidence completely deflated. Lyra, I never anticipated. I never imagined... Lyra approached her father and placed a gentle hand on his shoulder. It's acceptable, father. It's only for 1 rotation. Her voice was surprisingly melodious, with an accent that made standard language sound almost musical. But your mother will have my head. Valdrick groaned. And your studies at the academy can resume when I return, she finished for him. Though Marcus detected a note of uncertainty in her voice. The guards transferred Lyra's contract to Marcus's personal device. And just like that, it had become the reluctant holder of a beautiful alien woman whose father instantly regretted his foolishness. As they departed the establishment, Marcus noticed Lyra's shoulders were rigid, her steps measured and careful. Outside in the neon-illuminated corridor of Centauri Hub's entertainment sector, he stopped and turned to her. I'm not keeping you, he said firmly. Once we're away from here, I'll destroy the contract and you can go wherever you want. Lyra looked up at him, her large eyes widening in surprise. You would do that? Of course. I'm not in the habit of owning people. A small, cautious smile appeared on her blue lips. That is kind of you, but I'm afraid it's not that simple. What do you mean? The contract is registered with the station authority. If I returned to my father now, he would face severe penalties for contract violation. He could lose his trading license. She sighed. Despite his impulsive nature, he's a good father. I won't ruin him. Marcus cursed under his breath. What had started as a simple card game was quickly becoming complicated. So, what do you suggest? Honor the contract for now, Lyra said. Take me with you. Perhaps in time we can find a legal way to dissolve it without consequences for my father. Marcus sighed, running a hand through his auburn hair. All right. But just until we figure this out. As they walked toward the docking bay where his ship waited, Marcus couldn't shake the feeling that his life had just taken an unexpected turn. That would lead to far more than he'd bargained for. Chapter 2. Aboard the Starfire. Marcus's ship, the Starfire, wasn't exactly designed for 2 passengers. The compact freighter had a modest cargo hold, a cramped cockpit, and a living area that could generously be called efficient. As Marcus entered the access code, the boarding ramp descended with a mechanical whir. Home, sweet home, he muttered, gesturing for Lyra to enter first. She stepped inside, her eyes scanning the interior with undisguised curiosity. It's intimate. That's a diplomatic way of putting it, Marcus chuckled. Sorry about the disorder. Wasn't expecting company. Lyra moved gracefully through the cluttered space, her metallic and onyx garment catching the dim cabin lights. Marcus found himself watching the way she moved, fluid and elegant, like liquid mercury flowing over stones. "Where should I place my belongings?" she asked, holding up a small bag one of the establishment guards had delivered before they left. Marcus snapped out of his momentary trance. "Right, sleeping arrangements." He ran a hand through his hair. "There's only one cabin, so you take that. I'll rest out here on the sofa." "That's unnecessary," Lyra said, her large eyes blinking in that alternating pattern that Marcus found oddly mesmerizing. In Azure culture, service agreements typically include shared quarters. It would be unusual for me to displace you. Marcus cleared his throat. "Yeah, well, Terran culture works differently. You get the bed." A slight darkening of her cheeks suggested a blush. "As you wish." As Marcus showed her around the ship, he couldn't help noticing how the confined space seemed to constantly bring them into proximity. Each time they brushed against each other, he felt an unexpected jolt of awareness. "The shower is basic, but functional," he explained, pointing to the tiny bathroom. "Water's recycled, so try to keep it under 5 minutes." "We Azure require minimal water for cleansing," she replied. "Our skin secretes natural oils." That she stopped abruptly, her cheeks darkening again. "Forgive me. That's probably more information than you required." Marcus found himself smiling. "No, it's interesting." "I don't know much about Azure, and I know very little about Terrans," she admitted, "though I find your species fascinating." There was something in her tone that made Marcus's pulse quicken slightly. After the tour, they settled in the galley where Marcus prepared a simple meal. "I hope you can eat Terran food," he said, placing a bowl of synthesized noodles before her. "Most of it, yes. Our digestive systems are surprisingly compatible." She took a tentative bite, and her eyes widened. "This is quite flavorful." "It's just instant noodles." Marcus laughed. "Wait until you try real food." As they ate, Marcus decided to address the elephant in the room. "So, about your father." Lyra's expression clouded. "What about him? I'm guessing the gambling isn't new behavior." She sighed, setting down her utensil. "No, it's been a problem since my mother passed. He's a brilliant trader, but has poor judgment. When it comes to games of chance," she hesitated. "There's something you should know. My father, he's in debt. Significant debt." Marcus frowned. "How significant?" "Enough that several criminal syndicates have placed bounties on him. That's why he was so desperate tonight. He needed a major win to pay off the Crimson Collective." "Damn," Marcus muttered. "And now they'll think I'm connected to him." "I'm afraid so," Lyra confirmed. "By accepting me, you've inadvertently signaled to the underworld that you've taken on my father's position and potentially his debts." Marcus leaned back in his chair, processing this unwelcome news. "So, not only am I stuck with a contract I didn't want, but I might have debt collectors coming after me too." "I'm sorry," Lyra said quietly, her eyes downcast. "I should have warned you sooner." Marcus studied her for a moment. Despite her exotic appearance, her emotions were surprisingly easy to read. Genuine remorse, worry, and something else, fear, perhaps. "Hey," he said, his voice softening. "It's not your fault. Your dad's an idiot." That earned him a small smile. He's not always an idiot, just frequently. Their laughter broke the tension. Marcus found himself appreciating the musical quality of her voice when she was relaxed. Later, as Marcus prepared the sofa for sleeping, Lyra emerged from the cabin wearing what appeared to be a silky night garment that clung to her curves in ways that made it difficult for Marcus to maintain eye contact. "I wanted to thank you," she said, "for your kindness. Most beings would not be so considerate of a prize." "I told you I don't think of you that way," Marcus replied, trying to keep his gaze steady. I know. She moved closer. The scent of something. Like jasmine and ocean spray emanating from her blue skin. That's what makes you different. Marcus suddenly realized how close they were standing. In the ship's low night cycle lighting, her blue skin seemed to glow subtly from within, and her large eyes reflected the stars visible through the viewport. "We should get some sleep," he said, his voice rougher than he intended. "Tomorrow, we need to figure out how to deal with your father's mess." "Course," she agreed, but didn't move away immediately. "Good night, Marcus Kane." The way she said his name, rolling the R slightly, sent an unexpected shiver down his spine. "Good night, Lyra." As she turned and walked back to the cabin, Marcus exhaled slowly, wondering what exactly he'd gotten himself into and why. Despite all the complications, he wasn't entirely unhappy about it. Chapter 3. Unexpected Developments. Marcus woke to the smell of something surprisingly appetizing. He blinked away sleep and found Lyra in the galley, her blue hands deftly manipulating the ship's basic food synthesizer in ways he'd never considered. "Morning," he mumbled, running a hand through his disheveled hair. Lyra turned, her long sapphire hair tied back in an intricate braid. She'd changed from the night garment into a more practical jumpsuit that still managed to accentuate her curves. "Good morning," she replied, her alternating blink making his stomach do an odd flip. "I hope you don't mind? I took the liberty of reprogramming your synthesizer to create a traditional Azure morning meal." Marcus approached, peering over her shoulder at the colorful dish. Their proximity sent a wave of that jasmine ocean scent toward him, making his pulse quicken. "Smells amazing," he said, not entirely referring to the food. "It's called Astral," she explained, seemingly unaware of his distraction. "A protein-rich meal that sustains Azure through long trading journeys." They ate together, and Marcus had to admit the food was better than anything his synthesizer had produced before. As they finished, he decided it was time to address their situation. "I've been thinking about your father's debts," he began, setting down his utensil, "and I might have a solution." Lyra's large eyes focused on him with intensity. "What kind of solution?" Marcus took a deep breath. "I'm not just a freelance cargo hauler. I occasionally do special jobs for the Terran Alliance. You're a spy." Her voice held more curiosity than accusation. "Intelligence asset is the preferred term," he replied with a half smile. "Nothing too dramatic. I gather information, make connections, occasionally transport sensitive cargo." "And how does this help with our situation?" Marcus leaned forward. "The Alliance has been trying to establish better trade relations with the Azure Expanse for years. Your father's trade routes and contacts would be valuable intelligence." Lyra's expression grew guarded. "You want me to betray my people's trade secrets?" "Not betray," Marcus clarified quickly. "Facilitate cooperation. The Alliance could offer protection from the Crimson Collective in exchange for legitimate trade agreements that would benefit both Terrans and Azure." She studied him for a long moment, her expression unreadable. "And what would this mean for us?" The question hung in the air between them, loaded with implications neither had voiced. "That depends," Marcus said carefully, "on what you want it to mean." Before she could answer, the ship's communication system chimed. Marcus activated the screen to see a stern-faced Terran man with close-cropped gray hair and a military bearing. "Commander Torres," Marcus greeted, straightening instinctively. "Kane," the man acknowledged. "You've been busy." Word travels fast about a Terran winning a high-stakes game against an Azure merchant. His eyes shifted to Lyra and acquiring unexpected assets. Marcus felt Lyra tense beside him. "It's not what it looks like, sir. It rarely is with you, Kane." Torres replied dryly. "Report to New Terra Outpost within 48 hours. We need to discuss your new situation." The screen went dark before Marcus could respond. "Who was that?" Lyra asked, her voice tight. my handler in Alliance Intelligence, Marcus explained. And potentially our ticket out of this mess. Can he be trusted? Torres is a hard-ass, but he's fair. If anyone can help with the Crimson Collective, it's him. Lyra nodded slowly. Then I suppose we're going to New Terra. She paused. Will you tell him about my father's debts? I'll have to, Marcus admitted, but I'll make sure he understands your position. Thank you. She placed her hand on his arm, the touch sending warmth through his body for trying to help us both. Marcus found himself captivated by her large, expressive eyes. It's the right thing to do. Is that the only reason? Her voice had dropped to a near whisper, her face closer to his than he'd realized. Marcus swallowed hard. No, he admitted. Not the only reason. The moment stretched between them, electric with possibility. Then Marcus reluctantly pulled away, moving to the cockpit. We should get going. New Terra's a full day's journey from here. As he began the pre-flight sequence, Lyra slipped into the co-pilot seat beside him. May I assist? I'm rated for most. Navigation systems. Be my guest, Marcus replied, impressed as her blue fingers flew over the controls with practiced ease. The Starflyer lifted smoothly from Centauri Hub's docking bay and accelerated toward the jump point. As they worked together, Marcus found himself repeatedly distracted by Lyra's presence, the graceful movement of her hands, the concentration in her eyes, the way she bit her lower lip when focusing on calculations. Once they were safely in hyperspace, Marcus set the autopilot and turned to find Lyra already looking at him. What? He asked, suddenly self-conscious. I'm trying to understand you, she replied. On Azure, Terrans are often described as aggressive, self-serving creatures, yet you've shown me nothing but consideration. Marcus shrugged. Maybe your people haven't met the right Terrans. Perhaps her gaze remained steady. Or perhaps you're exceptional. The compliment warmed him unexpectedly. I'm really not. I disagree. She leaned closer. You could have taken advantage of this situation in countless ways, yet you seek a solution that benefits everyone. That's just basic decency, Marcus protested. Lyra's musical laugh filled the cockpit. You prove my point. You consider decency basic. Many species consider it optional. Their eyes locked, and Marcus felt something shift between them. A barrier dissolving, a connection strengthening. The ship suddenly felt very small, the space between them charged with unspoken possibilities. We have 20 hours until we reach New Terra, Lyra said softly. Perhaps you could tell me more about Terrans, your customs, your beliefs. Her eyes flickered briefly to his lips. Your ways of connecting. Marcus's heart hammered in his chest. I think that could be arranged. As the Starfire hurtled through hyperspace toward New Terra, Marcus realized that what had begun as an accidental obligation was rapidly becoming something far more intriguing and potentially far more complicated. Chapter 4. Pursuit and Discovery. 6. Hours into their journey to New Terra, the Starfire's proximity alarm blared to life. Marcus lunged for the controls, his fingers dancing across the console. What is it? Lyra asked, sliding into the co-pilot seat. Marcus's expression darkened. As he studied the readout, 3 vessels on an intercept, course Crimson Collective signatures. Already? Lyra's voice held disbelief. How did they find us so quickly? Someone at Centauri Hub must have tipped them off. Marcus punched in evasive maneuvers. They know we're heading to Alliance space. The Starfire shuddered as Marcus pushed. The engines harder, veering off their plotted course. The pursuing ships adjusted immediately, maintaining their pursuit. They're gaining, Lyra observed, her voice remarkably steady despite the danger. Marcus shot her an appreciative glance. Most people would be panicking right now. Panic rarely improves a situation, she replied. her fingers already working the navigation system. "There's a dense asteroid field in Sector 89C. We could use it for cover." "Good thinking." Marcus adjusted their course. "Those collective ships are bigger than us. They'll have a harder time maneuvering." As they worked together to evade their pursuers, Marcus noticed Lyra wincing slightly, pressing a hand to her side. "You okay?" Kay asked, concern evident in his voice. "I'm fine," she said quickly. Too quickly, Marcus frowned. "You don't look fine." Lyra hesitated, then sighed. "It's complicated and not relevant to our current situation. We're about to dive into an asteroid field with bounty hunters on our tail. If there's something affecting you, it's relevant." She met his gaze, then nodded reluctantly. "I have what my people call azure decay. It's a genetic condition that affects females of my species. It's progressive." Marcus's stomach tightened. "Progressive, as in ... as in eventually fatal." "Yes," she confirmed, her tone matter-of-fact. "My father's gambling it wasn't just addiction. He was trying to win enough to pay for specialized treatments. They're experimental, but promising." The revelation hit Marcus like a physical blow. "Why didn't you tell me? It wasn't your burden to bear." She turned back to the navigation console. Asteroid field approaching in 30 seconds. Marcus wanted to press further, but the tactical display demanded his attention. The Starfire plunged into the field, massive space rocks tumbling around them. Marcus's hands gripped the controls tightly as he weaved through the deadly obstacles. "You're an exceptional pilot," Lyra observed, genuine admiration in her voice. Terran reflexes, Marcus replied with a tight smile. "One of our better features." A blast from one of the pursuing ships clipped their shields, making the Starfire lurch violently. Marcus cursed, executing a tight spiral around a spinning asteroid. "They're persistent," he muttered. "We need to lose them completely." Lyra studied the tactical display. "There's a dense cluster ahead. If we can reach it, perhaps we can mask our engine signature." Marcus nodded, pushing the ship harder. They dove deeper into the asteroid field, the pursuing vessels still doggedly on their trail. Another blast rocked the ship. "Shields at 60%, Lyra reported calmly. Marcus's mind raced. "There's a technique Terran pilots use. Risky, but effective." "I trust your judgment," Lyra said without hesitation. The simple statement affected Marcus more than he expected. He took a deep breath, then cut the main engines. "What are you?" Lyra began. "Inertial drift," Marcus explained, using maneuvering. "Thrusters to guide their now silent ship into the shadow of a massive asteroid. They're tracking our engine signature. Without it, we're just another piece of space debris." They floated silently, watching as the collective ships continued on their previous trajectory, searching for a target that was no longer there. "Brilliant," Lyra whispered, her eyes wide with admiration. Marcus allowed himself a small smile. Basic Terran ingenuity. They remained hidden for nearly an hour, ensuring their pursuers had truly lost them. In the quiet of the powered-down cockpit, illuminated only by emergency lighting, Marcus found himself studying Lyra's profile. "How long?" he asked softly. She didn't pretend to misunderstand. "Without treatment, perhaps a year. With it, indefinite. Remission is possible. And the treatment costs more than a merchant like your father could ever legitimately earn." Marcus's guest, her large eyes, met his. Hence, the gambling. Marcus reached out, taking her hand in his. Her skin was cooler than a Terran's, but soft and somehow familiar. "We'll find a way," he promised. "The Alliance has advanced medical technology. If anyone can help, why would they help me?" She interrupted. "I'm just an azure, the daughter of a gambling-addicted merchant." "'Cause I'll ask them to," Marcus said firmly. "And because you're not just anything, Lyra." The intensity in his voice surprised them both. In the dim light, her blue skin seemed to glow faintly, her eyes reflecting the distant stars visible through the viewport. "Marcus," she said softly. "In my culture, when someone saves another's life, they become bound by what we call the thread of destiny. And what does that mean exactly?" She moved closer, the jasmine ocean scent of her enveloping him. "It means our fates are now intertwined. Whatever happens to one affects the other." "I can live with that," Marcus murmured, suddenly very aware of her proximity. "There's more," she continued, her voice dropping to a whisper. "The thread can only be fully acknowledged through physical union." Marcus's pulse quickened. Physical union, yes. Her eyes held his unwavering. "Our bodies must join as our fates have joined. Is that what you want?" Rumelarcus asked, his voice rough with emotion. "It's what I need," she replied simply. "What we both need if we're to face what's coming together." Marcus cupped her face gently, marveling at the silken texture of her blue skin. "I don't want you to feel obligated because of some cultural tradition." Her musical laugh filled the cockpit. "Terrans, always assuming your values apply universally." She leaned into his touch. "This isn't obligation, Marcus. This is desire, pure and simple." Their lips met, and Marcus was surprised by the warmth of her mouth, the sweetness of her taste. What began as gentle exploration quickly deepened into something more urgent, more primal later. As they lay entwined in the ship's small cabin, Lyra traced patterns on Marcus's chest with her blue fingers. "You continue to surprise me, Terran," she murmured, satisfaction evident in her voice. Marcus smiled, pulling her closer. "Likewise, Azure." As they drifted off to sleep, Marcus found himself thinking about threads of destiny and unexpected journeys. Whatever came next, they would face it together, bound not by a gambling debt or a service contract, but by something far more powerful. Chapter 5. Dangerous Revelations, the Starfire. Emerged from the asteroid field 12 hours behind schedule. Marcus had powered up the engines only after he was certain the collective ships had abandoned their search. Now, as they approached the outer boundary of Alliance space, a message alert chimed on the communication console. "Encrypted transmission," Marcus noted, glancing at Lyra, who sat beside him in the co-pilot seat. Their night together had changed something between them, a new ease, a deeper connection that manifested in small touches, lingering glances. "Can you open it?" she asked, her hand resting lightly on his arm. Marcus entered his decryption codes. The screen flickered, then displayed a grim-faced Commander Torres. "Kane, your situation has escalated," Torres said, without preamble. "The Crimson Collective has issued an open bounty on both you and the Azure female." Marcus felt Lyra tense. Beside him, how bad? 300,000 credits, dead or alive. Torres' expression hardened. "Every mercenary and bounty hunter in 3 sectors will be looking for you." "Fantastic," Marcus muttered. "Any good news?" "Actually, yes. This presents an opportunity." Torres leaned closer to the camera. "The Collective's leadership will be gathered for their annual summit on Nexus Prime in 3 days. Security will be focused outward, not inward." Marcus raised an eyebrow. "You're suggesting we hit them at their own summit?" "Precisely. A small team could infiltrate their central database and extract evidence of their illegal operations across Alliance space. With that evidence, we could shut down their entire organization." "That's suicide," Marcus protested. "Not with the right team," Torres countered, "and not with the right distraction." Lyra leaned forward. "You want to use us as bait." Torres studied her with newfound respect, perceptive. "Yes, Miss Lyra. The Collective is expecting you to flee toward Alliance protection. Instead, you'll appear to be heading directly into their territory, drawing their security forces away from the summit while our infiltration team does their work." Marcus shook his head. "Too risky. Lyra has a medical condition that needs treatment. Azure. Decay, Torres said, surprising them both. We're aware. In fact, that's part of my offer. The Alliance has been researching treatments for several Azure conditions as part of our diplomatic initiatives. Help us with this operation, and we'll ensure she receives the most advanced treatment available. Marcus looked at Lyra, whose large eyes had widened in surprise. Your choice, he told her softly. I'll support whatever you decide. Lyra was quiet for a moment, then straightened her shoulders. What exactly would we need to do? Torres outlined the plan. They would approach Nexus Prime through a specific corridor, making themselves visible to collective scanners. Once the security forces were diverted to intercept them, they would execute a series of pre-programmed jumps to evade capture while the Alliance team infiltrated the summit. And if we're caught, Marcus asked. Then you'd better not be caught, Torres replied grimly. Rendezvous at these coordinates in 6 hours for final briefing and equipment. The screen went dark. Marcus leaned back in his chair, running a hand through his hair. Well, that's one way to solve our problem. It could work, Lyra said thoughtfully. And if it means treatment for the decay, it's not just about the treatment, Marcus insisted. It's about keeping you safe. The collective doesn't exactly have a reputation for mercy. Lyra took his hand, her blue fingers intertwining with his. The thread of destiny binds us now, remember? Your safety is as important to me as mine is to you. Marcus smiled, despite himself. Is that an Azure way of saying you care about me? Perhaps. Her alternating blink had become endearing to him. Though I believe I demonstrated that quite thoroughly last night. Heat rushed to Marcus's face at the memory. Their joining had been unlike anything he'd experienced, both familiar and alien, comfortable and exhilarating. The way her skin had glowed faintly in the darkness, the musical sounds she made, the surprising strength in her slender body. You're thinking about it? She observed, a smile playing at her lips. Hard not to, he admitted. Azure, believe that. Physical union strengthens the thread, she said, her voice taking on a husky quality. The more often souls connect, the stronger the bond becomes. Marcus raised an eyebrow. Is that your way of suggesting we should strengthen our bond before this dangerous mission? Yes. Her directness was refreshing. Unless Terrans require more persuasion. Marcus laughed, pulling her closer. I think we can manage without too much persuasion. Later, as they lay together in the cabin, Lyra traced the outline of a scar on Marcus's shoulder. How did you get this? She asked. Vorthon. Raiding party, he replied. 3 years ago, on the colony world Epsilon's Rest, they hit a civilian settlement. No warning, no mercy. Lyra's fingers stilled. You were there. Alliance sent me to extract a scientist. I arrived during the attack. His jaw tightened at the memory. Saw things no one should see. Yet you stayed to help. Couldn't just leave them? Marcus shrugged as if it were nothing. Managed to get about 40 civilians to safety before reinforcements arrived. Lyra studied him with those large, expressive eyes. My people say Terrans are unpredictable, dangerous one moment, heroic the next. But I'm beginning to think the heroism is your true nature. Marcus shook his head. We're just people, Lyra. Some good, some bad. Most somewhere in between. Perhaps. She rested her head on his chest. But you, Marcus Kane, are decidedly good. As Lyra drifted to sleep, Marcus found himself contemplating their situation. The mission Torres proposed was dangerous, possibly suicidal, but it offered a chance to solve both their problems at once. If they succeeded, Lyra would get treatment for her condition, and the bounty on their heads would disappear with the collective's downfall. And if they failed, Marcus pushed the thought away, focusing instead on the weight of Lyra's head on his chest, the cool silk of her blue skin against his, the faint glow she emitted in the darkness. Whatever happened, they would face it together 6 hours later. They arrived at the rendezvous coordinates. A sleek Alliance corvette decloaked before them, its docking bay opening in silent invitation. "Ready?" Marcus asked as he guided the Starfire toward the larger vessel. Lyra nodded, her expression determined. "Ready." As they docked with the Alliance ship, Marcus couldn't shake the feeling that they were crossing a threshold from which there would be no return. The thread of destiny, as Lyra called it, was pulling them forward toward danger. Yes, but also toward possibility. Chapter 6. The Alliance Gambit, the Alliance Corvette. Sentinel hummed with activity as Marcus and Lyra were escorted to the briefing room. Commander Torres stood at the head of a holographic table surrounded by a team of 4 operatives. All Terran, all wearing the subdued gray uniforms of Alliance intelligence. Kane Torres acknowledged with a nod. "And Miss Lyra, welcome aboard." Marcus noticed how the commander's eyes lingered on Lyra with clinical interest rather than the usual curiosity most Terrans displayed when encountering Azure. It made him instinctively move closer to her. "This is the team," Torres continued, gesturing. To the operatives, Major Blackwood, tactical lead. Lieutenant Rivera, infiltration specialist. Dr. Sarah Chen, our xenobiologist, and Captain Mitchell, pilot. Dr. Chen stepped forward, a slender woman with keen eyes and dark hair pulled back in a tight bun. "Miss Lyra, if you don't mind, I'd like to conduct a medical scan. Commander Torres mentioned your condition, and I've been researching Azure physiology." Lyra glanced at Marcus, who gave a reassuring nod. "Very well," she agreed. As Chen led Lyra to the medical bay, Marcus turned to Torres. "I want to be clear, her safety is my priority. If this mission puts her at excessive risk, we're out." Torres raised an eyebrow. "You've become quite protective of your prize." Marcus's jaw tightened. "She's not a prize. She's a person." "Interesting," Torres mused. "When I sent you to gather intelligence at that establishment, I didn't expect you to return with an Azure companion, much less develop feelings for her." "Things change," Marcus said simply. Torres studied him for a moment, then nodded. "Indeed, they do. Let's review the operation." The plan was straightforward, but dangerous. Marcus and Lyra would pilot the Starfire toward Nexus Prime through a heavily monitored corridor, making sure collective sensors detected them. Once the security forces mobilized to intercept, they would execute a series of pre-programmed jumps to evade capture while the Alliance team infiltrated the summit. "Your ship has been upgraded with enhanced shields and a prototype stealth system," Major Blackwood explained. "It should give you the edge you need to survive long enough to complete the mission." Marcus absorbed the details, asking pointed questions about escape routes and contingency plans. He'd run dangerous operations before, but never with someone he cared about so deeply at risk. An hour later, Dr. Chen returned with Lyra. Marcus immediately sensed something was wrong. Lyra's face was flushed a deeper blue than normal, and Chen wore an expression of barely contained excitement. "Commander," Chen said, "we need to discuss a significant development." Torres frowned. "Is there a problem with the Azure's condition?" "Not exactly," Chen replied, glancing between Marcus and Lyra. "Perhaps we should discuss this privately. Whatever you have to say, you can say in front of everyone," Lyra stated firmly. Moving to stand beside Marcus, Chen hesitated, then nodded. "Very well. Miss Lyra is pregnant." The room fell silent. Marcus stared at the doctor, certain he'd misheard. "That's impossible," he finally managed. "We've only been together for 3 days." "Yes," Chen confirmed. "But Azure reproductive biology is remarkably efficient when compatibility exists, and you two are surprisingly compatible." Marcus looked at Lyra, whose large eyes were wide with shock. "Did you know this could happen?" "No," she whispered. Azure and Terrans have never. I didn't think it was possible, Chen continued, her scientific enthusiasm overriding the tension. In the room, it's unprecedented. Azure Terran hybrids have been theoretically possible, but never documented. The embryo appears healthy, though it's developing at an accelerated rate compared to Terran pregnancies. Marcus felt the room spinning slightly. 3 days ago, he'd been a solo operator running a simple intelligence-gathering mission. Now he was bound to an Azure woman by her cultural thread of destiny, hunted by the galaxy's most dangerous criminal syndicate, and apparently about to become a father. "This changes everything," he said, looking at Torres. "She can't participate in the mission now." "On the contrary," Chen interjected. "The pregnancy appears to be counteracting the effects of her Azure decay. The hybrid embryo is producing compounds that are stabilizing her condition." Lyra placed a hand on her abdomen, wonder replacing shock on her face. "Is that possible?" "The data is preliminary, but yes," Chen confirmed. "This pregnancy might be saving your life." Marcus ran a hand through his hair, struggling to process everything. "But the mission, the danger, is still necessary." Torres cut in. "The collective won't stop hunting you both, and now they'll have even more reason to capture you if they learn of this development. A Terran-Azure hybrid would be invaluable to certain parties." The implication hung heavy in the air. Their child, the very concept, still felt surreal to Marcus would be. A target from birth. "We need time to discuss this," Marcus insisted. Torres nodded reluctantly. "You have 4 hours before we reach the deployment zone. Make your decision by then." As the others filed out, Marcus and Lyra were left alone in the briefing room. 4. A long moment, neither spoke. "A child," Lyra finally said, her voice soft with wonder. "Our child?" Marcus moved to her side, taking her hands in his. "Are you okay with this? It's happening so fast." Her alternating blink was accompanied by a smile. "In Azure culture, children are seen as the greatest blessing the universe can bestow. They are living embodiment of the thread of destiny. Terran culture, we usually prefer a bit more planning," Marcus said with a weak laugh. "But I'm not opposed to the idea, just surprised." "As am I," she admitted, "but not unhappy." She placed his hand on her abdomen. "Can you feel it?" The thread, growing stronger. Marcus couldn't feel anything physically different, but emotionally, the connection between them seemed to pulse with new significance. "What do you want to do about the mission?" he asked. Lyra's expression grew determined. "If Dr. Chen is correct, this pregnancy is actually helping my condition. And Commander Torres is right, the collective won't stop hunting us. For our child's sake, we need to end this threat." Marcus studied her face, seeing the resolve there. "You're sure?" "I am." She squeezed his hand. "Besides, I've seen you pilot. There's no one I'd trust more to keep us safe." Her faith in him was humbling. Marcus pulled her close, breathing in her jasmine ocean scent, now tinged with something. Knew something that reminded him of sunrise after a long night. "Then we do this together," he decided, "for our future." As they held each other, Marcus's mind raced with plans and contingencies. The stakes had just gotten infinitely higher, but so had his determination. The collective had made a critical error in targeting them. They'd underestimated what a Terran would do to protect his family, and if there was one thing Marcus knew about humanity, it was their capacity to become absolutely unstoppable when protecting those they loved. Chapter 7. Into the Storm, the Starfire. Approached Nexus Prime with all identification systems broadcasting at maximum power, the exact opposite of stealth. Marcus sat at the controls, his jaw set with determination as Lyra monitored the tactical display beside him. "Collective patrol vessels detecting us," she reported, her voice steady despite the danger. 4 ships changing course to intercept. Marcus nodded, right on schedule. Now we just need to keep their attention for the next 2 hours. The plan was in motion. While they played the role of bait, the Alliance team would infiltrate the collective summit and extract the evidence needed to dismantle the criminal organization. Simple in theory, terrifying in execution. Energy spike from the lead vessel, Lyra warned. They're powering weapons. Hold on, Marcus said, executing a tight spiral maneuver that sent the Starfire into a controlled dive. The collective ships. Energy blast sizzled past them, missing by meters. Impressive, Lyra remarked, her hand instinctively moving to her abdomen. Though the pregnancy was only days old, Dr. Chen had confirmed the accelerated development meant she was effectively in a state equivalent to several weeks along. Marcus noticed the gesture. You okay? Yes, she assured him. Just aware of our passenger. Marcus allowed himself a brief smile before focusing back on evasive maneuvers. The thought of their child, a son, according to Chen's preliminary scans, gave him a strength and focus he'd never known before. The CUM system suddenly crackled to life. Attention, Terran vessel. This is Crimson Collective Security. Powered down and prepared to be boarded. Marcus exchanged a glance with Lyra before responding. Sorry, boys. No can do. You are harboring a fugitive and stolen property, the collective. Officer continued. Surrender the Azure female immediately. Lyra's eyes flashed with indignation. Stolen property. Yeah, that's not happening. Marcus replied to the collective, pushing the engines harder. She's not property, and she's certainly not yours. The Starfire shot forward, leading the pursuing vessels on a wild chase through Nexus Prime's outer defense grid. Marcus's piloting skills were being pushed to their limits as he weaved through automated defense platforms and patrol routes, keeping the collective ships focused entirely on them. 1 hour down, Lyra noted, checking the chronometer. The Alliance team should be inside the summit by now. Marcus was about to respond when a new contact appeared on their sensors, larger. Vessel moving to cut off their escape route. That's a collective command ship, Lyra said, concern evident in her voice. The tactical display updated, showing a familiar energy signature aboard the command vessel. Lyra gasped. That's my father's biosignature. Valdracon, a collective command ship. Drake frowned. They must be using him as leverage. A new transmission came through, this time with video. On the screen appeared a collective officera, reptilian saurian, with scales the color of burnished copper. Standing beside a restrained Valdric. Terran, the saurian hissed. I am Executor Korath. Perhaps you will reconsider your position when you see who we have as our guest. Valdric looked haggard, his normally vibrant blue skin dull with stress. But his eyes widened when he saw Lyra on the return feed. Daughter, he exclaimed. By the binary stars, you're alive. Father Lyra leaned toward the screen. What have they done to you? The usual, Valdric replied, with a weak attempt at his former bravado. Apparently, wagering one's daughter creates quite the debt. Who knew? Executor Korath yanked Valdric back. Enough, Terran. Your options are simple. Surrender the female or watch her father die. You have 30 seconds to comply. The transmission cut off, leaving Marcus and Lyra in stunned silence. We can't let them kill him, Lyra said, her large eyes pleading. Marcus's mind raced. They couldn't abandon the mission, but they couldn't sacrifice Valdric either. Then an idea struck him, risky, potentially suicidal, but with a chance of success. We're not giving up anyone, Marcus said firmly. But we are going to change the rules of engagement. He opened a secure channel to the Alliance team. Major Blackwood, we have a complication. Valdric is aboard the collective command ship. We're adjusting the plan. Blackwood's voice came back tense. Negative, Kane. Maintain your current course. We need another 40 minutes. Not an option, Marcus replied. But don't worry, you'll get your distraction. He closed the channel before Blackwood could protest and turned to Lyra. I need you to trust me completely. Can you do that? She placed her hand over his. Always. Marcus programmed a new course into the navigation system directly toward the collective command ship. We're going to surrender, he explained, seeing Lyra's confusion. Or at least appear to. He quickly outlined his plan. It was audacious and relied on perfect timing, but it was their best chance to save Valdric while completing the mission. As they approached the command ship, Marcus reopened communication with Executor Korath, repowering down weapons and shields, preparing for docking. Korath's reptilian features twisted into what might have been a smile. A wise decision, Terran. The Starfire was drawn into the command ship's docking bay by a tractor beam. As they touched down, Marcus activated the ship's newly installed stealth system, not to hide the Starfire itself, but to mask what was happening inside it. Remember, Marcus said to Lyra as they prepared to disembark, no matter what happens, stay behind me and be ready to move exactly when I signal. She nodded, her expression resolute. For our family? For our family, he echoed, squeezing her hand. The airlock opened to reveal a contingent of armed collective guards led by Executor Korath, with Valdric held at gunpoint nearby. Welcome aboard, Korath said, his forked tongue flicking between sharp teeth. The female will come with me. The Terran will be executed. Marcus stepped forward, hands raised in apparent surrender. Actually, I have a counteroffer. This is not a negotiation, Korath hissed. Oh, but it is, Marcus replied calmly. Because right now, an Alliance intelligence team is downloading every dirty secret in your database. In about 10 minutes, the collective will cease to exist as a functioning organization. Korath's scales darkened with rage. You're bluffing, am I? Marcus smiled. Check your internal security. As Korath turned to consult with a subordinate, Marcus caught Valdric's eye and gave an almost imperceptible nod. To his credit, the Azure merchant understood immediately. Chaos erupted in 3 simultaneous events. Marcus activated a flashbang grenade that blinded the collective guards. Valdric ducked and rolled away from his distracted captor, and the lights throughout the docking bay flickered and died as the Alliance team's virus hit the command ship's systems in the darkness. Marcus moved with practiced efficiency, taking down 3 guards before they could recover. He reached Valdric, cutting his restraints with a concealed blade. Nice timing, Terran, Valdric gasped. Though your entrance could use work. Save the critique, Marcus replied, guiding him back toward Lyra, who had taken cover behind a cargo container. We need to move now. Father, she exclaimed, embracing him quickly. Daughter, Valdric replied, his voice thick with emotion. I'm so sorry for later, Marcus interrupted. We need to move now. Emergency lighting activated, bathing the docking bay in red. Korath was shouting orders, trying to reorganize his scattered forces. The Starfire's blocked, Marcus observed. We need another way out. Valdric's eyes lit up. I know this class of vessel. There's an executive escape pod to levels up. Lead the way, Marcus instructed, handing Valdric a blaster taken from one of the fallen guards. They fought their way through the corridors, Marcus taking point with Lyra and Valdric close behind. The ship was in disarray, alarms blaring as the Alliance virus tore through its systems. Almost there, Valdric panted as they reached the upper level. A blast of energy scorched the wall beside them. Marcus turned to see Executor Korath at the end of the corridor, his scales flushed with rage. Go. Marcus shouted to Lyra and Valdric, get to the pod. Not without you, Lyra insisted. I'll be right behind you, Marcus promised. Go. As they disappeared around the corner, Marcus faced Korath. The Saurian advanced slowly, his weapon trained on Marcus's chest. "You've cost me everything, Terran," Korath snarled. "You did that yourself," Marcus replied, "when you decided to hunt innocent people for profit." Korath fired, but Marcus was already moving, diving and rolling as he returned fire. The Saurian was fast, but Marcus had something Korath didn't. Something Terrans had relied on throughout their history when facing superior forces: adaptability and sheer stubborn determination. Marcus feinted left, then charged right, catching Korath off guard. They collided with bone-jarring force, crashing into a control panel that sparked and exploded from the impact. In the close-quarter struggle that followed, Marcus's combat training gave him the edge. With a final decisive strike, he left Korath unconscious and raced toward the escape pod. Lyra and Valdric had the pod ready for launch. Marcus dove inside just as the ship rocked with a massive explosion, the Alliance team making their own explosive exit. "Cutting it close, aren't you?" Valdric remarked as Marcus sealed the hatch. "It's kinda my specialty," Marcus replied, initiating the launch sequence. The pod blasted free of the command ship, just as secondary explosions began rippling through its hull. In the viewport, they could see other collective vessels in similar states of chaos as the Alliance virus spread through their connected systems. "We did it," Lyra breathed, her hand finding Marcus's. "We did," he agreed, pulling her close. Valdric watched them with growing awareness. "You two seem closer than I would have expected, given the circumstances of your meeting." Lyra exchanged a glance with Marcus before turning to her father. "There's something you should know, Father, something wonderful." As she explained about the pregnancy, Valdric's expression transformed from shock to disbelief to cautious joy. A grandson, he finally managed. A Terran Azure child. That's unprecedented. "So we've been told," Marcus said dryly. "And the decay?" Valdric asked, concern evident in his voice. "In remission," Lyra assured him. "The pregnancy is producing compounds that counteract it." Valdric shook his head in wonder. "The thread of destiny works in mysterious ways." He turned to Marcus with newfound respect. "It seems I lost my daughter to you twice, once at the gaming table and once through her heart." "Rules are rules," Marcus replied with a smile, echoing the words that had started their journey. "Indeed, they are," Valdric agreed. "Though perhaps these new rules, the ones you two are writing together, are better than the old ones." The Alliance Corvette Sentinel appeared on their sensors, moving to retrieve them. As they prepared for docking, Marcus held Lyra close, his hand resting protectively over their growing son. What had begun as a chance encounter in an alien establishment had transformed into something profound: a new family, a new future, a new set of rules for them to live by. Rules based not on ownership or obligation, but on choice and love. And as Marcus looked at Lyra's radiant face, he knew he wouldn't have it any other way.